The Walking Dead is not only a franchise that you're writing in, but it's also a perfect parallel for how I describe your acting career. Welcome to Between Two Perns. My name is Jackson Dickert, and I'm joined here by triple threat author, actor, and martial artist, Wesley Chu.
What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This episode is going to be a little bit different from how we usually do things. I'll be the first one to admit that I've been a bit disrespectful at times on this show, but I only realized Wesley's significant martial arts skills when we were talking before the interview. Since that time...
I'm ready.
Yeah. Since that time, I've decided to turn over a new leaf. So welcome to the first episode of Between Two Perns that is only positive. So please bear with me, Wesley. I'm going to be sort of live editing my script as we go, and I might not catch everything.
All right. Let's do it.
So Wesley, the way I usually start these interviews is by making fun of the other person's name.
Okay. Very bold. Go for it.
I want to ask you a couple questions about my favorite work of your career,
Okay.
if you're down for that. Okay, so I have a specific movie I watch every night before bed. It's my favorite movie. It's my comfort movie. And I realize that you bear a startling resemblance to one of the actors in the movie. And so I was wondering, is it you that I'm recognizing in the best Christmas movie of all time, Fred Claus?
Yeah, that was me. I was the Banzai Shaft.
Oh my God, wow. Thank you so much. This interview is so much more exciting now than I realized it was going to be. I thought you were just like a boring author, but you're a Hollywood actor. So I won't ask anything else about Fred Claus. We're just going to stick to your books from here on out, because that's what you're here for.
I'm still getting Christmas checks, man. It's amazing.
Okay, so I know we said that we were just going to stick with books, but I have to ask. In the movie, Fred Claus, my favorite actor, Vince Vaughn, is tackled by a bunch of Santas and winds up in jail. And he tries calling his girlfriend for bail, but she's waiting at the restaurant for him to show up for the romantic anniversary dinner. When you played in the movie Fred Claus, what were your credentials to play a bonsai chef? Have you ever done like live cooking for real customers before?
Not gonna lie, I didn't know what I was doing when they called me on set.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like, you know, there's a knife, right? I'm like, yeah, there's a knife. And then they're like, and it was an actual working hot plate, which I did not know about. Burned myself.
You're kidding.
No.
Did you sue?
No, because I was hanging out with Rachel Weisz.
That was pretty cool. You yelled at her though.
I did.
Are you guys on good terms?
We're not on good terms anymore.
So you're from Taiwan, but you spent the better part of your childhood in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I did.
So Wesley Chu, Brandon Sanderson, and Dick Cheney are all from Lincoln, Nebraska. What are they putting in the water over there to create such talented writers? And may I have a sip of said water?
You know what the secret tonic is?
What is it?
Boredom.
There's nothing to do there.
Back in the 80s, it was all corn. Like, it's legitimately all cornfields.
Wow.
So, and then as a kid, it's a great place to grow up. But if you don't get the hell out of there by the time you're like 18, you're gonna be like a dad.
Oh man.
And then you're done. That's your path.
That's what happened to Brandon then, because he's the most dad guy I've ever met in my life.
He's very much a dad guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dad though.
He is a great dad.
He's a good dude.
No, I wonder if brutally murdering an interviewer would work.
You're in Lincoln, Nebraska, and you're bored. What made you decide to become a martial artist? And are there a lot of martial artists in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah, there were not a lot of Asians back there. You know, back in Nebraska, there's like 5 Asians, like 4 were in my family. So I didn't really have any like link to my home country, my culture. So one day I discovered something called Samurai Sunday. You know, it's like every Sunday they play these really badly dubbed kung fu movies. And for me, that was like, as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my people. And we all punch through walls and fly across the air.
And so then just from there, you decided to start taking...
Yeah, never punched through walls. I tried though.
How'd that go?
It did not go well. I see this busted finger right here, but punching through walls.
What is that? What key is that on the keyboard? That's like P? You can't hit the P key very well, I guess?
I mean, it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at a lot of my books, I don't hit that key very well. I don't have a lot of words.
You've omitted P's and O's completely.
Any word of those P's and O's.
Wow. So no poop jokes in your books?
No. Maybe one.
I thought that maybe you were just a martial artist because you're a huge Vince Vaughn fan and wanted to secure your role in Fred Claus. Has Vince Vaughn played a role in inspiring any characters from your book?
No, dude.
No?
He sucks.
Okay.
I'm kidding. He does suck.
You have a really interesting college degree that doesn't seem befitting of a writer. Can you tell me in as much detail as possible what management information systems is?
Management information systems is like computer programming.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering, were you able to keep anything from the set of Fred Claus? And if so, can I have it? I would be so grateful to have something blessed by Vince Vaughn's firm but gentle
They
hand.
called me in and threw me out in the same day.
You didn't even you get to keep the knives,
No,
or
dude, that's not how it works.
Okay, back to your writing career. How many significant similarities do you think there can be between two works before it can be criticized as a blatant ripoff or plagiarism? Like major plot elements. Do you think it's 2, 3, 4?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So if there's any significant similar plot elements?
I mean, every plot has already been done. Every plot under the sun's already been done. So it's not about the plot.
Sure.
It's not about the characters. It's about the execution of the story.
Well, in your book, The Lives of Tao, an alien crash lands on Earth and takes up residence in the main character's brain. I'm going to read off a series of components of this book, and can you just verify which ones are accurate?
All right.
Your protagonist is a loser nobody with potential.
Yeah.
Your protagonist gets help from a being that gives them feedback through communicating via the protagonist's neural network.
Yes.
The protagonist has a romantic interest that the being helps them with.
Okay.
The being manipulating the neural network of the protagonist has two factions that oppose one another.
That's correct.
Okay. And then by the end of the story, your character is whipped into shape, much like the song from hit musical Legally Blonde, and they are competent at their job.
That is a great comp.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So can you explain exactly how the plot of your book is different from the plot of Disney's Ratatouille?
Who's? Oh yeah. Disney could sue me.
I think so.
Wait, when did Ratatouille come out?
Before your book did, that's for sure.
Yeah, but one's a mouse and a chef.
I don't think "yeah, but" is going to be good enough in front of a
that's fair.
judge.
Disney should sue me. Disney, go for it.
You got your start publishing The Lives of Tao in 2011 through Angry Robot's open door submissions.
That's correct.
I was wondering, what made you think that your work would be good enough to be accepted by a team of reviewers at Angry Robot when you couldn't even get it accepted by an agent?
Desperation. Let's just be honest, like, the whole publishing industry is built upon desperation.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're throwing darts at the wall, you know?
Yeah, whatever sticks.
Whatever sticks.
Did anyone at Angry Robot comment on the obvious similarities between it and Ratatouille? Were they looking for the next big Ratatouille-esque novel?
You know what? You think that because they're similar, it's a bad thing, but because they're similar, that's a good thing.
I do think it's a
Yeah.
good thing. I absolutely do.
I actually wish they comped Ratatouille earlier on. I would have probably sold a lot more books.
Listen, as far as all the stealing from Ratatouille stuff, I get it. In my interview with Travis Baldtree, still a joke straight from Reddit. And when the pressure's on and you have a deadline, it's just easier to steal ideas from other places. Wouldn't you agree? And that's why I think you're such an excellent writer for other IPs. You've written alongside Cassandra Clare for the Eldest Curses series, and you wrote the first Walking Dead story set in China, which is really exciting.
That is true.
Given how well connected you are within the publishing community, I was wondering, what author do you think would stand the best chance at surviving in the zombie apocalypse?
Mark Lawrence. Okay. I think Mark Lawrence. Joe Abercrombie would do a really good job.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think Joe would talk his way.
I was going to say his ego's big enough that I just don't think a zombie would mess with him.
Yeah. He'll talk his way into a crew, and somehow he'll indoctrinate everybody.
Yeah.
And when the zombies come, they'll his crew throw themselves in front of him to protect him.
Would you throw yourself in front of the... Okay, I didn't think so. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I thought you might say you, since you're a martial artist that has already gotten to show off your moves in hit movies like Fred Claus. Earlier you said that you have no experience as a professional chef, but in the documentary Fred Claus, you seem to be wielding those knives with a ferocity and accuracy unparalleled by someone without any skill. Did you have any help with your motor functions by an outside source in that scene? Perhaps a small furry creature hidden in your hair? A rat, perhaps?
There's these sumo guys in the background.
Yeah.
And you don't actually see it on camera, but there's a sumo guy under the table, and he's doing this. And he's kind of giving me guidance. So it's kind of like reverse Ratatouille.
Is the sumo wrestler dead and that's why you're not acting anymore?
I mean, that movie came out, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't think sumo guys live that long.
Probably right.
Yeah.
Hypertension's got to hit way before.
I mean, it's that heart's got to be doing a lot of work all day. He's probably dead.
Okay, so you don't have a sumo wrestler help writing
No,
your
I
books
wish I
for
had
you?
one though. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if the sumo wrestler that helps you act was alive or not, because The Walking Dead is not only a franchise that you're writing in, but it's also a perfect parallel for how I describe your acting career.
That would be accurate, actually. I was not a good actor.
I thought you were pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. To be clear, I hope that you do resurrect the Fred Claus series with Vince Vaughn.
You know, you are not as much of a dick as everybody said you were, Dickert.
A lot of times I find people sort of take on like parts of themselves from their name. And so I just kind of, internalize the word dick, and like that's just who I am on the outside now.
I mean, you are much cooler than I thought. You were not the discount Logan Paul that I thought you were when I first met you.
I'll take Dollar General Logan Paul. That's not bad.
I mean, a Dollar General Logan Paul is still doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe one day I'll be able to elevate
To $5 Logan Paul.
So if Vince Vaughn did call you up and asked to do Fred Claus 2, would you be willing to reprise your role?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course you would. It's not like you have anybody else calling.
Oh.
I wanted to ask about your newest novel,
Okay.
The Art of Prophecy. I haven't read it yet, but I wanted to make sure I was understanding the plot correctly.
Okay.
One of the protagonists have strict expectations of who they are meant to be thrust upon them.
Yes.
One of the protagonists have never had their skills put to the test.
Yes.
The story has a mentor-student relationship.
Yes.
There is someone out to get the protagonist.
Sure.
The character is separated from their mentor at a crucial point in the story.
Yes.
Gotcha. So you wrote Ratatouille twice.
Damn, dude. Maybe all my books are Ratatouille.
I think you've created a new genre here, Ratatouille-type novels. They might have created the initial Ratatouille, but you have refined the genre.
I feel like Ratatouille is based off of like an arc.
Sure.
That's a classic arc. And that's just one of the ones that I play with a lot. And you just happen to copy the Ratatouille. Isn't there like a bigger Star Wars?
There's no rat in Star Wars. You have been writing pretty quickly. You've got many books out, and your first one was published, what?
2013?
Yeah, so about 10 years ago.
Yep.
And you've got 12 books?
Yeah.
So more than a book a year. That's very impressive. I wanted to ask a little bit about your process.
Okay.
What is your number one piece of writing advice for any aspiring authors out there who want to write good fiction quickly?
If it's not quite your job yet, you got to treat it like your job.
Okay.
So you got to find time to block it out, and you got to defend that time no matter what, because it's easier to let something else take that place.
Yeah.
So you always got to keep writing. You're always gonna set aside that mental energy and time to like put in that work.
Your friend from middle school, Brandon Sanderson, not Dick Cheney, actually gave me his number one advice for a tool to help you write faster. And I was wondering if you could help me see if Brandon was sharing genuine advice or if he's practicing the oldest tradition in publishing by gatekeeping his trade secrets.
Okay.
You up for a little experiment?
Let's hear it.
I'm just going to get you to do a round of type racer for me really quickly.
All right. What's type racer?
All right, Wesley, let's see what you got. How'd you do?
91.
91.
Sucks.
We've got your baseline, 91 words per minute.
All right.
Now we're going to see if Brandon's a liar or not.
Oh no, they're not floating.
Yeah, so Brandon told me that he uses helium balloons.
Are these helium balloons?
They're about 20% helium. It's still helium, which is lighter than air, so it should still help you a little bit. So we need to see at least a marginal improvement. I have to do this empirically because I'm a scientist.
All right.
We'll do 20%, and then if you do better, then a future author will do it with more helium in the balloon. We'll just see how you do. Find out if Brandon Sanderson is a gatekeeping jerk.
Ah!
How'd you
65.
do? 65.
Weak.
So it seems like maybe Brandon Sanderson is gatekeeping.
Brandon's fucking with you, dude.
I think so.
Yeah. He doesn't want you to be a writer.
He doesn't want me to be. He knows I could be better than him. He knows you could be
I
better
think
than
he's trying to
him.
help you out.
How do you mean?
What?
How do you mean?
He's seen you write. He's probably like, I'm going to spare him some pain.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
I've
He's a
only-
nice dude.
No, I wonder if brutally murdering an interviewer would work.
He is a nice guy.
So if he's gonna be fucking with you, he's being merciful.
I suppose that's a kindness in the end.
It's kindness in it.
Thank you very much. In the future, I will be, seeing if conducting more tests with helium.
It could be you have the wrong helium to air ratio here.
That's kind of what I'm starting to think. I think that's what got you messed up. So we'll be trying.
Because the whole point of the helium, I'm assuming that Brandon's advising you, is it's going to make your fingers lighter.
I believe so. Right. Thanks for doing that. Hopefully, we're able to kind of conduct some more tests in the future and get them to a good spot so we can help riders become better than Brandon Sanderson. I got one more question for the interview.
Okay.
In Claus, there's this part where